There is a force, silent, invisible, but undeniable. It's the force that makes people pause when you speak, that compels others to choose their words carefully around you, that ensures you are never ignored, never dismissed, never disrespected. Some men have it, most never will. You've seen it before. A man enters a room, and without a word, the energy shifts. Eyes follow him, conversations change, and even those who don't know him sense something different. What is it? It's not wealth, it's not fame, it's not physical strength. It's something far more powerful, an unshakable presence forged by the right habits. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They knew that true power comes not from external status, but from within. That respect isn't demanded, it's commanded by the way you carry yourself, the way you think, and the way you act. And today, wisdom seekers, I'm going to reveal to you 8 habits that, once mastered, will ensure that no one ever disrespects you again. Master these, and the world will see you differently. Ignore them, and you'll remain just another man, struggling to be heard. Choose wisely. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Every like, subscribe helps us continue our mission of sharing knowledge, and leave a comment below and share your opinion on these habits, or tell me which one resonates with you the most. Ready to unlock more wisdom? Let's get started. Habit 1, the unshakable frame. There's a difference between a man who controls his emotions and a man who is controlled by them. The first is a fortress, unmovable, untouchable, impossible to shake. The second is a leaf in the wind, carried and tossed by every passing gust. And here is a universal truth. No one respects the leaf. Respect is given to the fortress, to the man whose frame is unshakable, to the man who, no matter the storm, stands firm, unmoved, and in control. Picture a king on his throne. His enemies surround him, his advisors whisper anxiously, chaos brews in the court, but he does not flinch, he does not panic. His face is calm, his posture relaxed, his mind clear. He is the embodiment of control, and because of this, he commands the respect of all around him. Marcus Aurelius, perhaps the greatest Stoic emperor of all time, ruled the Roman Empire through some of its most difficult years. Plague ravaged his people. Wars drained his resources. Betrayal lurked in every shadow, and yet, despite it all, he remained steadfast. His personal writings, collected in meditations, reveal his secret. He never allowed external chaos to disturb his internal peace. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus Aurelius understood that a man loses respect the moment he lets external forces dictate his emotions. If an insult makes you angry, you are weak. If a setback breaks your spirit, you are weak. If the opinions of others define you, you are weak. And the weak are not respected. You must train yourself to be untouchable. When someone insults you, you do not react. When life throws challenges at you, you do not crumble. When others try to shake your foundation, you remain solid. Because the moment you show weakness, the moment you let someone else control your frame, you hand them power over you. This is not about suppressing your emotions. It is about mastering them. A true man of respect does not lack emotion. He simply refuses to be ruled by it. He feels anger, but he does not lash out. He feels pain, but he does not break. He feels doubt, but he does not retreat. Think of a wolf in a pack. The alpha is never the one barking the loudest, snapping at every challenge, constantly proving himself. The true alpha is silent, composed, watching. His presence alone demands respect. He does not react. He does not need to. Train yourself to master the pause. Before you respond to an insult, before you react to disrespect, before you let emotion take control, pause. Breathe. Decide your response from a position of strength, not weakness. And when you do respond, do so with precision, control, and unwavering confidence. An unshakable frame is not built in a day. It is forged through discipline, through hardship, through the daily act of choosing control over chaos. But once you master it, you will notice something incredible. The world will start treating you differently. People will speak to you with more caution, with more respect. They will sense the power in your presence. And most importantly, no one will ever disrespect you again. Habit 2. The art of silence. There is a strange paradox in human nature. Those who speak the most often say the least, and those who speak the least are listened to the most. The men who are respected the most are not the ones constantly talking, constantly explaining, constantly seeking validation through words. The men who command respect are the ones who understand the power of silence. Silence is a weapon. It makes people uneasy. It forces them to fill the space. It makes your presence heavier, more powerful. A man who can sit in silence without discomfort is a man who is truly in control. In every room, there is a man who speaks before he thinks. He is eager to prove himself, eager to be heard, eager to be recognized. But what he does not realize is that his desperation to be respected is the very thing that ensures he never will be. The wise man listens. He observes. He speaks only when necessary. And when he does, every word carries weight. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This is not just a lesson in patience, it is a lesson in dominance. The man who listens more than he speaks will always hold the advantage. He will always know more. He will always be more respected. When you speak too much, you reveal too much. You show your insecurities, your weaknesses, your need for approval. But when you embrace silence, you create mystery. And mystery is power. Think of the most respected men throughout history. They were not known for their endless talking. They were known for their measured words, for their ability to make silence work in their favor. A single look, a single pause, a single moment of unbroken silence could do more than 1,000 words ever could. You must train yourself to be comfortable with silence. When someone challenges you, you do not always need to respond. When someone insults you, silence can be the most devastating reply. When someone asks you a question, pause before answering. Make them wait. Make them wonder. Most people cannot handle silence. It makes them nervous. It forces them to confront their own thoughts, their own insecurities. But if you can master it, if you can use it as a tool rather than fear it, you will find that people begin to treat you differently. They will lean in when you speak. They will weigh your words more carefully. They will respect you without even knowing why. Imagine 2 men in a negotiation. One is talking rapidly, trying to explain, justify, convince. The other sits quietly, listening, unmoving. Who do you think holds the power? It is always the man who speaks less, because he is the one who seems in control. If you want to command respect effortlessly, you must learn the strategic use of silence. When you stop speaking needlessly, you force others to pay attention to you. When you are comfortable in silence, you make people uneasy in the best possible way. They start to wonder what you're thinking, what you know that they don't. A man who speaks only when necessary holds an aura of control. People do not waste his time with nonsense. His words are rare, and because they are rare, they are valued. The moment you start talking too much, trying too hard to impress, or explaining yourself unnecessarily, you lose that value. There is an ancient warrior's lesson. Speak only when it improves upon silence. Every word you say should serve a purpose. If it does not, do not say it. The most powerful men in history understood this well. They never rushed to fill silence, and because of that, their presence alone commanded respect. When they finally spoke, their words cut through the noise like a blade. There's a reason why the quietest man in the room often seems like the most dangerous. When someone is silent, others assume he knows something they don't. They tread carefully around him. They give him space. They respect him. If you make this habit part of who you are, you will notice an immediate shift in how people treat you. They will lower their voices when speaking to you. They will listen more intently when you speak. They will respect the weight of your words. Next time you feel the urge to speak just to fill the silence, don't. Let the pause linger. Let the silence do the work for you, and watch how the world reacts. And now, wisdom seekers, we move to something even deeper, something that will shape not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. Habit 3. The discipline of self-control. A man without control over himself is a man without respect. Look around you. How many men are slaves to their impulses? They are ruled by their anger, their lust, their hunger for validation. They lash out when provoked, they chase pleasure without thought, and they fold under the weight of their own desires. These men will never be respected because they do not even respect themselves. The world respects the man who is in control, the man who is calm in the face of chaos, the man who is disciplined, who does not fall for every temptation, who is the master of his emotions rather than their prisoner. The Stoics knew this well. Seneca once wrote, No man is free who is not master of himself. And he was right. The moment you lose control of yourself, you become weak. And the weak are never respected. Self-control is power. It means you do not react emotionally to insults. It means you do not chase fleeting pleasures that make you weak. It means you do not let laziness, addiction, or comfort destroy your potential. Imagine two men. One is disciplined. He wakes up early, works on his goals, keeps his body strong, and never lets his emotions control him. The other man is impulsive. He wakes up whenever he feels like it, wastes his time, gets angry at every little thing, and seeks comfort over discipline. Who do you respect more? The answer is obvious, and so is the path to commanding respect. Master yourself. The first and most important step to self-mastery is controlling your emotions. The moment you let someone else provoke you, you give them power over you. They own you. They push a button and you react exactly as they expect. You must train yourself to remain calm. When someone insults you, do not react. When someone tries to provoke you, do not take the bait. Instead, pause. Breathe. Smile if you must. Show them that they have no power over you. Think of the greatest warriors in history. They did not waste energy on petty conflicts. They did not let insults shake them. They saved their strength for battles that mattered. This is the mindset you must develop. The second step to self-control is discipline over desires. Weak men chase pleasure. Strong men delay it. Do not eat just because you are hungry. Do not sleep just because you are tired. Do not seek distraction just because you are bored. Every time you choose control over comfort, you become stronger. Every time you let your impulses dictate your actions, you become weaker. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, trained himself to withstand hardship. He slept on the floor even though he had a palace. He fasted even though he had access to the best food in Rome. Why? Because he knew that comfort makes men weak. You must train yourself the same way. Push yourself harder every day. Wake up early. Control your diet. Train your body. Discipline your mind. Become the kind of man who does what needs to be done, no matter how he feels. The third step is controlling your words. A man who speaks without thinking is like a sword with no handle. Dangerous, but more to himself than to others. Do not say things you do not mean. Do not make promises you cannot keep. Do not let your tongue betray your strength. If you master these three things, your emotions, your desires, and your words, you will command respect without saying a word. People will see it in your posture, your gaze, your presence. The man who is in control of himself is in control of everything around him. And the man who controls everything around him is the man no one dares to disrespect. Habit 4. The unbreakable mindset. Respect is not given to the man who complains. It is not given to the man who makes excuses. It is not given to the man who crumbles under pressure. Respect is given to the man who endures. Life will test you. It will throw obstacles in your way. It will challenge your patience, your strength, your will. And the moment you break, the moment you start blaming others, the moment you complain about how unfair life is, you lose. The world does not respect weakness. It respects resilience. It respects the man who, no matter how hard he is hit, gets back up stronger. The Stoics called this amor fati, the love of fate. It means embracing everything that happens to you, good or bad, as fuel for your growth. No complaints, no victim mentality, just strength. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, was born a slave. He had every reason to be bitter, to blame the world for his suffering. But he did not. Instead, he trained his mind to be stronger than his circumstances. He said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens be the way it is, and you will be happy." This is the mindset of an unbreakable man. He does not wish for an easier life. He becomes stronger. He does not complain about misfortune. He turns it into opportunity. Think of the most respected men in history. Were they men who crumbled under pressure? Were they men who gave up when things got hard? No. They were men who took hardship and used it to forge something greater. Every great leader, warrior, and thinker has faced trials. The difference between those who are remembered and those who are forgotten is simple. Some men break, others build. You must train yourself to be unbreakable. When life tests you, do not complain, smile. When things go wrong, do not curse fate, use it. Every challenge is a chance to prove your strength. Every setback is an opportunity to grow. This is not just about external success. This is about the way people perceive you. A man who complains loses respect instantly. A man who makes excuses is seen as weak. But a man who faces hardship with a steady gaze, who refuses to be broken, who turns every difficulty into an advantage, this is the man others look up to. Imagine a man who loses his job. A weak man complains, blames his boss, and drowns in self-pity. A strong man sees it as a test. He adapts, he builds new skills, he finds new opportunities. Who do you think will earn more respect? Your mindset determines your destiny. If you train yourself to see every obstacle as fuel, nothing will ever break you. And if nothing can break you, no one will ever disrespect you. If you want to command respect, stop looking for an easy path. Stop waiting for life to be fair. Accept every challenge as a gift. Build yourself into the kind of man who never backs down, never complains, and never stops moving forward. The world does not respect the weak. It does not care for those who crumble. It respects the man who stands tall, no matter how heavy the storm. And now, wisdom seekers, we move to something even deeper. The next habit will separate you from the average man in a way that cannot be ignored. Habit 5. The power of speaking with authority. A man's words are either a blade that cuts through the noise or a whisper that fades into nothing. Respect is not just about what you say, but how you say it. A weak man mumbles, hesitates, and dilutes his words with uncertainty. A strong man speaks with conviction, precision, and authority. Look around you. Who commands attention in any room? It is not the loudest man. It is not the one who talks the most. It is the man whose words are measured, deliberate, and firm. When he speaks, people listen, not because he demands it, but because his presence alone commands it. The way you speak is a direct reflection of your confidence, your intelligence, and your self-respect. If your words are weak, you will be seen as weak. If your voice trembles, people will assume your mind does too. If you constantly seek validation in your speech, do you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? You are subconsciously telling others that even you do not believe in what you are saying. A man who speaks with authority does not rush. He does not over-explain. He does not fill silence with nervous chatter. He understands that his words carry weight, and so he chooses them wisely. The Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus, a philosopher who went from being a slave to one of the most respected teachers in Rome, taught that words should be controlled like actions. He said, "First, learn the meaning of what you say and then speak." A respected man does not speak to impress. He speaks to express. He does not try to sound intelligent. He is intelligent, and that intelligence is clear in the clarity and confidence of his words. So how do you develop this presence? First, eliminate weak language. Stop using words that dilute your message. Words like maybe, I think, I guess. These words betray uncertainty. Instead, replace them with firm, direct statements. Instead of, I think this might work, say, this will work. Instead of, I guess I could try, say, I will do it. Second, slow down. Weak men rush their words, afraid that if they do not speak quickly, they will lose attention. Strong men speak deliberately, knowing that the world waits for those who have something valuable to say. A slight pause before you speak makes others lean in, waiting for your words. Third, lower your voice. A deep, controlled voice carries power. Do not mistake volume for authority. True power comes from a voice that is steady, rich, and controlled. If you speak too fast, too high, or too anxiously, you are signaling weakness. Fourth, mean what you say. Never speak just to fill space. Every word that leaves your mouth should serve a purpose. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this necessary? Does this add value? Does this reflect strength? If the answer is no, stay silent. Fifth, do not explain yourself unless absolutely necessary. Weak men feel the need to justify every action, to explain every decision, to seek approval in their words. A man of authority makes a decision and stands by it. If someone asks why, he does not give a 5-minute explanation. He gives a single strong answer. Imagine two men in an argument. One is loud, emotional, desperate to prove he is right. The other is calm, composed, unbothered. Who commands more respect? A man who controls his words controls how the world sees him. When you speak, speak with the confidence of a man who knows he is worth listening to. And when you do, people will listen. Habit 6. The mastery of body language. Before you say a word, before anyone knows your name, Before you even introduce yourself, people have already judged you. How? By your presence. Your body language is your first and most powerful statement. It tells the world whether you are a man of strength or a man of weakness, whether you command respect or beg for it, whether you are to be taken seriously or dismissed. Most men do not realize how much they sabotage themselves through weak body language. They slouch, they avoid eye contact, they fidget, they shrink into themselves, and without saying a word, they communicate to the world, "I am not a man to be respected." On the other hand, a man who masters his body language can walk into any room and command attention before he even speaks. He does not need to prove himself. His presence alone does it for him. There is a reason why warriors and kings throughout history have trained their posture, their walk, their gaze, because they understood that before a man is respected, he must first be perceived as powerful. So how do you ensure that your body language demands respect? First, own your space. Weak men shrink themselves, taking up as little room as possible, as if they are apologizing for existing. Strong men do the opposite. They stand tall, they move with confidence, they sit with ease, taking up space as if they belong. Because they do. Second, straighten your posture. Slouching is a physical manifestation of weakness. A man who walks with his shoulders back and chest open immediately appears more powerful. When you walk into a room, imagine a string pulling you up from the top of your head. This will naturally align your posture into a position of strength. Third, master the art of stillness. Fidgeting, looking around nervously, shifting your weight, these are all signs of a weak, uncertain mind. Respected men do not fidget. They are still. They do not need to prove their presence, they let others feel it. Fourth, hold strong eye contact. Eyes are the windows to dominance. If you cannot maintain eye contact, you signal submission. If you look away first, you lose. A man who can hold steady, calm eye contact without discomfort instantly commands more respect. Fifth, move with purpose. Do not rush. Do not hesitate. Walk as if you have somewhere important to be. Every step should be deliberate. Every gesture should be intentional. Weak men move erratically, uncertainly. Strong men move like they are in control of the world around them. Sixth, control your facial expressions. Your face should be composed. A weak man's face is constantly shifting, nervous, reacting to everything around him. A strong man remains calm. His expressions are minimal but powerful. A raised eyebrow, a slow nod, a slight smirk. These small, controlled movements hold far more weight than exaggerated reactions. Lastly, never show fear. Even if you feel nervous, do not let it show. Keep your breathing steady. Keep your hands relaxed. Keep your face calm. The moment you show fear, you are giving others permission to dominate you. But if you train yourself to remain composed under pressure, the world will assume you are a man who is never shaken. Think of the most respected men in history. They were not frantic. They were not jittery. They were not weak in their presence. They stood firm. They exuded quiet confidence. They moved with the certainty of men who knew they belonged. Your body speaks before your words do. If you train yourself to move, stand, and exist as a man who is already respected, the world will have no choice but to follow. And now, wisdom seekers, we move into the final habits, the ones that separate those who are respected from those who are revered. What comes next will be the most important lessons of all. Habit 7. The unwavering principles of a man. A man who bends to the will of others, who shifts his beliefs to fit the moment, who compromises his values for approval. Such a man will never be respected. He will be tolerated, maybe even liked, but deep down, no one will take him seriously. Respect belongs to the man of principle, the man who knows what he stands for and does not waver, no matter the pressure, no matter the temptation, no matter the cost. He is the man who cannot be bought, who does not sell his integrity for convenience. History has shown time and again that men who live by unwavering principles are the ones who shape the world. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, ruled Rome not with excess and corruption, but with discipline and virtue. He could have indulged in every luxury, could have ruled with fear and brutality, but he chose instead to hold himself to a higher standard. Even as the most powerful man in the world, he never abandoned his principles. His journal Meditations reveals his philosophy. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This is the core of what it means to live by principle. You do not seek permission. You do not justify yourself. You do not ask if others approve of your values. You embody them. But how does one develop this kind of unwavering strength? First, define your principles. Too many men wander through life unsure of what they truly stand for. If you do not know your own values, the world will impose its own upon you. Sit in silence and ask yourself, what do I believe in? What will I never compromise? What virtues define the man I want to be? Second, never break your word. A man's word is his bond. If you promise something, you must deliver. If you say you will do something, you must follow through. The moment you break your word, even once, people will stop trusting you. They may still interact with you, but they will never respect you. Third, reject external validation. A man of principle does not seek approval. He does what is right, not what is easy. The more you live by your values, the more you will encounter resistance. People will mock you, test you, try to sway you. Stand firm. The moment you bend to please others, you signal weakness. Fourth, hold yourself accountable. A man of principle does not make excuses. If he fails, he owns it. If he makes a mistake, he corrects it. If he is wrong, he admits it without shame. Weak men shift blame. Strong men take responsibility. Fifth, never compromise your integrity for power, money, or approval. The world is full of men who sell their souls for short-term gain. Do not be one of them. A man who has everything but no principles is nothing. A man who has little but holds true to his values is everything. When you live by principle, something remarkable happens. People begin to follow you. They may not always agree with you, but they will admire your conviction. They will trust you. And trust is the foundation of respect. Stand firm. Live by your values. Be the rock in the storm, and no one will ever dare to disrespect you. Now, wisdom seekers, we move to the final and most powerful habit, the one that separates men who are merely respected from those who are remembered forever. Habit 8. Embracing the inevitability of death. This may seem like an unusual habit, but I promise you, this is the most powerful shift you can make in your life. Most men live as if they are immortal. They waste time, they delay their purpose, they avoid challenges. They live small, safe lives, never truly stepping into their potential because they think they have time. But time is the one thing no man can buy. No matter how powerful, how rich, or how intelligent you are, death is coming for you. The Stoics called this memento mori. Remember that you will die. This was not meant to be a depressing thought, but a liberating one. Because when you truly understand that your days are limited, you begin to live differently. Epictetus said, "You are a little soul carrying around a corpse." Think about that. Your body is decaying every second. You are not guaranteed tomorrow. So why waste today on things that do not matter? Why live in fear? Why hold back? A man who embraces death fears nothing. He does not fear failure because he knows that in the end, it does not matter. He does not fear the opinions of others because soon both he and they will be dust. He does not hesitate because every wasted moment is a moment closer to the grave. Imagine two men. One spends his life in fear, afraid of rejection, afraid of risk, afraid of judgment. He plays it safe, never fully expressing himself, never taking action, never truly living. The other man knows he is dying, he embraces it. And because he knows that life is fleeting, he acts, he speaks his mind, he chases his goals relentlessly, he does not let fear control him. Which man do you respect? A man who has come to terms with death carries an aura of fearlessness, and fearlessness commands respect. So how do you cultivate this? First, meditate on death daily. Remind yourself that you are mortal. Write it down. Look at old pictures of yourself and see how time has already changed you. Realize that every second that passes is a second you will never get back. Second, eliminate everything meaningless. If you knew you had a year left to live, what would you stop doing? Stop wasting time on distractions, weak friendships, and mindless entertainment. Invest in things that truly matter: your growth, your relationships, your impact. Third, take action immediately. If you have a goal, start now. If you have something to say it. If you have a dream, pursue it. Do not wait. The cemetery is filled with men who plan to do great things, but never did. Fourth, fear nothing. What is there to fear when death is inevitable? What is rejection? What is failure? These are nothing compared to the ultimate truth. Soon you will be gone, so live fully while you can. A man who embraces death walks through life differently. His presence is undeniable. His courage is infectious. His energy is unstoppable. When you make peace with your mortality, you will move through the world with a level of confidence and presence that others can feel. And that, wisdom seekers, is the ultimate key to commanding unshakable respect. Because a man who is not afraid to die is a man who is not afraid to live. Final words. These are not just habits. These are codes of living. The men who master these habits do not just earn respect, they become legends. If you commit to these principles, if you embody them in your daily life, you will become the man that others look up to. You will walk into any room and feel the weight of your presence. You will move through the world with a quiet, unshakable power. You will not have to demand respect. It will be given to you freely. Now, the question is, will you apply this, or will you remain as you are? The choice is yours, wisdom seekers. Make it wisely.